The boxing part, again, it wasn't so that it was that flashy, but he made the right moves, even when he was the one on a bicycle, but he made the right moves. You know, he just knows, and sometimes you can't teach that. Sometimes that's all, you know, it looks like you can't teach hand speed with the fast twitch muscles, and just like if you're not born, if you don't got it in the cradle with power, that you're never going to be a knockout power. Mikey just mentally for the fight game, it was born with that. And that's what's going to make him a very tough fighter to beat.
Right. Broner kind of overcame one stigma with the discipline camp, moving out to Colorado Springs, and showing up in great shape. Actually was under the weight. The second thing that he really needed to overcome was rising to the moment in big fights. Were you astonished that here again, you know, 10th, 11th, and getting into the championship rounds, were you astonished that he really couldn't get anything off significant?
No. Yeah, Adrien, you know, has people, you know, we had a good argument. I had Thomas Hauser, who's a great boxing writer, and we were just talking in the other press room before this conference, post-fight conference, and one guy said, well, what do you mean Adrien Broner don't know how to put, you know, hop in the fire? And he goes, he did it against, he got dropped against Maidana and came back and got the fight, you know, he made the fight close to quarter. There's a difference jumping in the fire for survival and jumping in the fire to win. Okay, Broner jumped in the fire in those fights. Tonight, a couple rounds, he picked it up and he became the aggressor with like 45 seconds to a minute left. But he didn't throw much when he did that. He made it look like, maybe to the judges and everything else, that he was bringing the pressure. And I thought if he would have thrown punches at that point, that he could have made that fight look a little closer and stole some of them rounds. But I think he was a little afraid. You know, there's also, it's easy for people who don't know, you know, do the commentating and spectating of it. But unless you're in that ring and you feel somebody hit you, and you start feeling that power, everything changes and the brain goes really fast. And I think Adrien just had a lot going on. I noticed something was wrong early on. His reflexes and everything, he was twitching a lot. He was nervous reflexes, you know what I mean, using a lot of energy, and was afraid. You put his head down and everything possible to get away. Right there, somewhere along the line, he felt something from Mikey that had him doing that.
Moving down. Go ahead.
You said he wouldn't have a plan B. Exactly what you said happened. He didn't have a plan B.
Yeah. So, well, he didn't have one, though, but that's why I knew. The reason why I mentioned that was it was obvious in the Maidana fight. It was obvious in the Porter fight. You know, and even a little bit with Paulie fight. You know, when Adrien's struggling, he has the same style as Mayweather. But what separates Mayweather and Adrien Broner is this: Mayweather's an all-time great, and is going to go down as one of the greatest fighters of all time, because Mayweather had that game plan A that Broner has, okay? Or Broner actually copies off Mayweather. But if you ever notice, when shit hit the fan, Mayweather always had B and C. And not only did he have B and C, but they were well planned out, and he won the fights convincingly.
Is that what happened in the first Taylor fight? I was there in Atlantic City with